Hi guys, I'm Fiona, Fifi3058.
And I'm Claire, I'm Blinking Billy, and we've come on a very cold early morning to our favourite beach combing place.
So we'll show you a little bit around and show you what's on our wonderful magical place.
Here we go.
It's quite a nice piece. And I thought that one was quite a nice piece as well. This bit here is really good for hopefully finding trapped marbles and nice little bits of china. So yeah, there's a nice clear chunk. Okay, so this is what I love about this place. Can you see what I see? Hiding down there. The light's not terribly good, but I'll just pluck it out. Yeah, a cod marble, yay. Yep, I'm keeping you.
Hi, my name's Ted Sandling. I'm the author of London in Fragments, which is a book about London. It's also a book about mudlarking. Now, mudlarking is an old word. It describes going down to the banks of the River Thames, the foreshore of the River Thames when the tide goes out, and discovering fragments of the past. What I love about mudlarking is that those fragments can tell really exciting stories about London and about the people who lived here. And so what London in Fragments is about is taking some of the fragments that I've found and using those to decipher and discover some of the stories of the history of London. I said that mudlarking was an old word. It didn't always used to refer to going down and looking for history. It used to be something that the very poorest of London's poor had to do. In the Victorian period, mudlarks were young children, very old people who would look for anything that they could sell for scrap on the foreshore of the Thames. They were described by a chap called Henry Mayhew in about 1850 as being covered with tattered, indescribable rags that served them for clothes as they waded through grime, searching for what they could sell for their livelihood. And the grime the waste that they were wading through by the banks of the River Thames, the mud was not clean. The Thames in the Victorian period was a sewer. These people were literally wading through human waste to try and make enough money to survive. At most they might make 4p a day, selling things like coal, bits of scrap rope, copper rivets. It's not like that today. Today people go down to the River Thames because they want a connection with history. Because when you go down to the foreshore and the tide is out, you can look around you and find hundreds of little objects, small things, that instantly connect you to the person who lost it. No one has touched that fragment except for the person who dropped it 2, 3, 4, 500 years ago. There are thousands of years of London's history on the foreshore of the River Thames, and that's why mudlarking is so exceptional.
This is beachcombing from the east coast of Scotland. There's been potteries here for over 200 years. The area had many great potteries here. As you can see, there is glass and things on our beach here, and we collect various types of pottery that was made over in Fife from approximately 1800s up until 1928, until the pottery closed. There was a few potteries over in the Fife region. Primarily, they started off making bricks and stoneware, and then they moved on to more decorative stoneware. These are some examples of things that we find over in Fife. These are types of stoneware bottles.
Okinawa, Japan has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, but being a beachcomber, I actually search out the trashier, dirtier beaches, the former landfills and such. Some things that I find in Okinawa by the jungles that I think people don't find as much elsewhere are dark blue glass from sake bottles, dark blue and dark aqua. I find a lot of blue and white pottery. These are not staged. I actually came across these just like this. And I also brought some of my favorite pieces to show that I think that are pretty unique to Okinawa. For example, Kariko pottery. These symbolize wealth and prosperity. I find a lot of cod marbles, which are still used as a stopper today for Japanese soft drinks. I'm also lucky enough to find ohajiki, which are flat marbles used in a children's game.
Hello, mermaids and mermen. This is GINA ARGYROU from Rhodes, Greece, sitting on my sea glass beach. Say hello. Krista, say hi with my grandson. We've walked all the way from the corner there. If you see over where that hill is, where I'm pointing, that cliff, that's where they used to throw all the rubbish before they had recycling and landfills here. So all this glass has ended up on the beach. This is what I've just collected walking down. And I'm going to get over here so you can see how much, there's so much in here. You can just pick up and just look through everywhere. There's lots of pretty pottery too, but they've groomed the beaches for the summer, so a lot of the stuff is underneath. From Rhodes we get the Icarus pottery, which is only found in Rhodes, made by Italians and Swiss and Greek people, and it's from another beach here that we go to. Wishing you all happy sea glassing from Rhodes.
Hello, I'm Anna and I'm mudlark on the Thames foreshore in London. This is me. Now I'm standing on the foreshore now. Behind me is St Paul's Cathedral. This is the Millennium Bridge with tourists crossing to go to the Tate Gallery over there, Shakespeare's Globes that way. And yet down here on the foreshore there's absolutely no one at all. It's incredibly peaceful and that's part of the appeal. Now I'm going to go for a walk now and try and show you what you can find buried or hidden or dumped in the mud of London over the course of its 2,000-year history. That's a clay pipe bowl, that's probably 18th century it looks like to me. These were smoked from the late 16th century to the early 20th century. That's a bit of Georgian platter. Somebody made their dinner on that 200 years ago and I've ended up with it. Taking that home. And here's another really common find, oyster shells with a mysterious hole. No one knows why they've got that hole. This was the food of the Romans, a luxury food, and the food of the poor Victorian man and woman. And also here I just picked up a load of little pins and clasps out of the mud. I'm really pleased because I've just found this really lovely ebony 19th century domino. The little holes come out. I wonder if that had mother of pearl or ivory inside. I'm not really sure. Whatever, it's a thing of beauty and I'm thrilled with my find. Here are my finds from today. Nothing particularly unusual, but all rather lovely. I love these bits of pottery that bear the thumbprints of a man or woman from about 500 or 600 years ago. I also brought some Thames garnets to show you, and this Tudor money box top. That was on top of a box that was used to collect money for the tickets for the Elizabethan plays that were performed over the river there. And I've got some pottery from home and a nice long pipe and some of my 3,000 pin collection. Now I'm going to take everything and go back up the steps and go home, and probably, if I can, I'll be back again tomorrow.